Okay, today we're going to do something with Photoshop called a triangular pixel effect. And I've got a photo here that I've taken. It's actually a camera raw photo, so it's a pretty high quality photograph. And it's nice to have a high quality photograph for this assignment, but it certainly doesn't have to be camera raw. And again, if you don't have a picture that you've taken that you can use, you can get a stock photo from our stock photo resources. I'm going to click and drag this right into Photoshop, let that pop up. With that open. Because it's a camera raw file, that's what that .cr means. It's going to open up with a slightly different window that most of you may not be used to seeing. We're just going to kind of bypass that window, but it looks a little bit different. It doesn't immediately take us into the main panel of Photoshop, so we're going to bypass that. But basically, and I've given you the written instructions for this assignment as well on your Google Classroom post. Basically, we're distorting this picture so that it becomes really just sections of color, and so it's not even going to be recognizable when we get down to it. It's just going to be sections of color. Actually, while I have this, I think I'm going to see if I can't lighten this up a little bit. It's a little darker than I thought. And it kind of doesn't matter because, like I said, we're going to be getting rid of all the detail, but I think our lighter colors will serve us better than if it was darker. So, okay, so I did that with my sliders, and there we go, and I'm going to hit done. I just did that with a little bit of a curve adjustment, which is a typical panel in Photoshop that you can use. But I'm going to hit done, and actually, come on. I should have hit open image. So let's try that again. We're going to come back over here. I've got so many things going on my computer, it doesn't know what to do first. But now let's just double check this. See if we can't light. It's still saved the lighting area, the lit areas. Okay, and I'm going to say open image. And that's going to bring us into Photoshop, and that's going to allow us to do this triangular pixel effect. But it is a large image, so it's taking Photoshop a little bit of time. I'm going to unlock that layer. So at this point in the semester, you should understand and know where the layers panel is. If you do not see the layers panel, please go up to window and then layers to do that. This is a picture of my son's JV baseball team, and my son is in the middle. This is a couple years ago. And these are all the boys that were in his same class, the same grade level, and several of them have been his teammates for a long time. So I'm going to start with going to the Move tool, and we are going to the very first thing that we need to do is we need to make a copy of the layer. So we're going to start, we've got our layer selected. Remember, if we didn't have the layer selected, it would look like that, but by clicking it, it's kind of lit up and we've got this border around there. That means it's selected. And so we're going to duplicate it twice. So the quick key for duplicating a layer is Command J. So there's my layer 0, copy 1, and here's another one, Command J, layer 0, copy 2. Okay, so we've done that twice. Now with the top layer selected, we're actually going to go up. We're going to hit Command T, and we're going to go up here and we're going to skew this layer. Okay, so right up here you see these different values. We're going to go to the H value, the one that's right here, okay, not the one over here, but over here, and we're going to skew that by 45, and it's 45 degrees, and then we're going to hit enter. Or you can also hit this check mark. Okay, it could be either one. So we're going to hit the check mark, and now we've done that. So now we're seeing this skewed image here on this top layer. Okay. The next thing that we need to do is we're going to apply a filter to that top layer. So we're going to go filter, pixelate, and then mosaic. Okay, and this, because my image is so large, the directions in the written instructions that you have say take it to 20 pixels. Well, 20 pixels doesn't really do much. It doesn't really blur out the detail because this photo is so big. So we're going to go way more than that. And you need to think about whatever works for your photo, okay? It could be anything. And notice that at this point, we've just got like skin tone and blue jersey and red belts and white pants in the sky. I mean, we're just bringing this down to just color. So it no longer is going to resemble a baseball team, which is fine. That's what you're going for. So get your pixels to something like this and then hit OK. After you do that, and remember, it's got to be your number, whatever works best for your number. So we're going to then go and we're going to skew the photo again. So we're going to go back the other direction. So I'm going to hit Command T. Okay, and we're going to go back to this H. And this time it's going to be negative 45 degrees. Okay, and that's how that's going to look. Okay, and so if it looks like that, you're on the right track. And mind you, we've been just on the same layer this whole time, just on this one layer, okay? Okay, after you do that, you're going to take the opacity and you're going to drop that down. And here's the opacity. So we're on this layer, so we're affecting the opacity here. And you're going to drop the opacity to about 50%. And I know that brought back some of the clarity here. We're gonna mess with it again. Okay, so we brought back some of that clarity, and we can see their faces a little bit. Now we're gonna select this middle layer, and with the middle layer selected, you're going to again hit Command T for transform. Again, that's transform, and you're gonna go up and you're gonna skew it again, and you're gonna go negative again 45 degrees. Okay. And then we're going to hit OK. Or you can hit, I'm sorry, you can also hit, you can hit return, or you can select the check mark to commit the changes. Again, we're going to apply the filter. So we go up to filter. Because we already did mosaic at 70 pixels, as soon as I do that, it's right back to the same, it's like already pre-selected. All I had to do was go here, and the setting was already pre-decided from what we had chosen the last time. Okay. Again, we're going to hit Command T. Okay, so we're still on the middle layer, but now we're going to go back the other direction. So now it's going to be 45 instead of negative 45. Okay, and then we're going to go back that way. And I need you to notice that now we've created this triangle. So it's like we've overlapped, we've swung to the left, we swung to the right, and we've overlapped it, and now we've got triangles. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in really far. Something that we need to notice is the part where the triangles don't really match up. Now this is going to be different on everybody's picture, and so you want to try to see if you can't nudge with the arrow key your picture to get rid of anything that's not overlapping correctly, so that you can make that true triangle. And mine is, I'm arrowing to the right with my arrow key, one click at a time. And notice that that little part in there is narrowing. I'm kind of focusing on that. And I've just about got it. Okay, so now with a little nudging to the right, you can see that, and I'm zoomed in, you can see I've got all these triangle pixels. Okay, so it's triangle pixels. Now I'm going to go back to 0, Command 0, and now you can see the entire photo again. And then I need to make sure to hit Enter. Okay, or let's say commit changes at the top. Either one is okay. Now, you can kind of still tell this is boys at a baseball game or after a baseball game standing there posing for a picture. And that's fine, but we certainly don't see any detail. We need to add a font to this. So I'm going to go to the type tool. I want my type to be, I think I would like my type to be one of the colors, maybe one of the more obscure colors in here. Maybe one of these darker reds. Let's see how that looks. And I need to bring my font up significantly, and that maybe too significantly. Let's see if it shows up for us. Let's go to 500. I'm going to put that for now. Now over here, oh, I didn't get a very opaque color because of what I chose. But it is opaque on the panel. So I would then play with this color. I would say, what if we did something like bright red? I'm still not good. Oh, that's because, forgive me, my layer is in the wrong spot. It needs to be on top. So now with your layer, your text layer on the top, you know what? Choose the color that is best for you, for your picture. I am thinking mine is not, maybe like that. And then make sure to save this. Do what you can with the font. You can add shadows, you can add strokes, you can add all kinds of stuff using the effects panel. And you're going to file, save as. You're going to file, save as, your last name, comma, space, your first name, hashtag the number of the assignment. So depending on what semester this is in, you're going to put it on the desktop and hit save. And remember to turn it into me. You also need to save it as a JPEG. And so you go back in, you go file, save as, and it's taken a minute, so it won't let me do it until it's all the way saved. File, save as, and change it to a JPEG. And then that's what you'll turn into me. So make sure you put a relevant word on top that you think kind of enhances your picture or explains your picture. And I hope that you have found this useful. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.